The little girl only wanted to sell all her vegetables to raise money to buy medicine for her sick mother. But a sudden rain washed away all her hope. Passers-by ran away, and only she was left alone in the rain, unaware that at that very moment, the richest man in the city was searching for his daughter who had been missing for 6 years. When the girl was on the verge of despair, the millionaire passed by and through the window saw a thin, soaked little girl. His heart broke instantly. He ordered his driver to buy all her vegetables. When he heard that the girl was working to cure her mother and help her younger brother, he remained silent for a long time. He couldn't understand how such a small child could endure so much pain, without knowing that the strong and kind girl before him was actually his own daughter by blood. Later, the girl returned home, only to receive terrible news. Her stepfather coldly told her that her mother had been in an accident and that the surgery would cost $100,000. The girl handed over all her savings, but it wasn't enough. When her mother saw her, she said she wouldn't get treated anymore, but the girl refused to give up. Then the stepfather pulled out a debt note, claiming that the girl owed the family $90,000 for everything she had eaten and used since childhood, and that the surgery still wasn't paid for. The girl swore to earn the money to save her mother, not knowing it was all a carefully planned trap at the hospital. Her mother removed her mask of sickness and revealed a smile full of contempt. It was all-out hatred. To her, the girl's existence was a disgrace. She had ruined her relationship with her first love. Years ago, she had run away with him, but ended up blaming the girl for everything. She always told her that poor children had to be strong, while secretly living a life of luxury. Even her son's toys were made of pure gold. One day, someone told the girl that a businessman was looking for clowns for his son's birthday party, and the pay was very good. Without hesitation, she signed up, unaware that the businessman was actually her mother. Dressed as a clown, she performed with all her heart at the party and finally earned enough money for the surgery. She ran home happily, but her stepfather told her that the operation now cost $300,000. Desperate, she stumbled into the street and saw a group of child traffickers. Without thinking, she confronted them and even offered herself in exchange for money to save her mother. The traffickers were shocked by her bravery and decided to turn themselves into the police. Amid the chaos, the girl met the millionaire from the rainy day once again. She begged him to lend her $300,000 and promised to repay him. He looked at her with eyes full of tears. The girl tore a piece of her clothing and wrote a promise in her own blood. She handed him a jade pendant as collateral. When the millionaire saw it, he froze. It was identical to the one he carried himself. That same night, he ordered a DNA test. Meanwhile, the girl arrived at the hospital with the money, but fainted from blood loss. When she woke up, the doctor asked her to pay $500 for some tests. She touched her bag and felt the money still there, but decided to save it for her mother's surgery instead. Then the doctor told her that her mother had already been discharged. Thinking her mother had given up on treatment, she ran home with all her strength, only to see her mother celebrating in a mansion, champagne in hand, surrounded by her new family. At last, she realized that the poverty had been a lie. Crying, she told her mother she was sick, but the woman replied coldly, "Drink some water and you'll feel better." The girl broke down in tears and asked why she was so cruel. She received a cold slap in response. Her stepfather, with a sinister smile, said that if she was no longer useful, they would take her heart to give to their son. All those years, they had raised her only for that purpose. The girl tried to escape, but they caught her and locked her in a refrigerated truck. She pounded on the door desperately as her mother walked away without looking back. At that moment, the millionaire discovered the truth and, enraged, went out to find her. He followed the faint sound of her pounding, ran to the truck, and tore open the door with his own hands. He held her tightly, crying. Unable to contain himself, he took out the two identical pendants, his face covered in tears. At last, he found his daughter who had been missing for 6 long years.